hip-hop culture with DJs, MC, graffiti art are expressed every day within the inner cities of America and the world. You are not doing hip-hop, you are hip-hop.
All right. It's been a day, but a good day. It's been a good day. Now, let me just say this because I am that fan. I play Prince all the time. If you've ever been in the car, you already know my playlist is dated. It does not get into a lot of current stuff. Like there's a sprinkle here and there just by chance, but most of it is like from way back when, because that's when music was great music. So two things. One, let me just remind everybody that it's Friday. It's Friday, it's 4:00, which means it's time for Girl Listen. We are streaming live to LinkedIn. We're streaming live to YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And I also want to remind you, if by chance you're like, you know what, I'm always out and about, but I want to get what Gwendolyn has to say while I'm on the road. We're on Amazon Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And then later on today, we're going to be on Indie Suit Media. Today on Indie Suit Media, we are, golly, it's just amazing. We're talking about Project 2025. Hindsight is 2020, but whatever. But it's still if you haven't gotten into it, you can go ahead and read it and figure out what's about to happen because it's already written, you know what I'm saying? So that is that. Let me do this. Let me go ahead, play this intro, and then we are going to get started. No confetti today. No confetti, no powder bombs today. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm still cleaning. We are still cleaning from all of that. So we're going to figure that out when we figure it out. But before we get into all of what we're getting into, we got to say some hellos to all the people who have come and are here to celebrate. So we've got my mama in the building because mother likes to get here on just to get her early. I appreciate it. She wants to get her seat, make sure she's there, get things in. Ron Foster is here as well. Ron is here and Cass is here also. Hello, people. Hello. Now, there's a very good chance that this recording might be, it might get a copyright strike. And I'm taking that chance today because it is what it is. But our background music today is Alexa de Paris. That is what's playing. It played at my wedding. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take that chance and play it in the background. I have it kind of low, but I think you can still hear it. We're going to find out if they can hear it or not. Spencer is here. Now, Spencer may or may not come on camera today and share his genius with us. I'm going to let him decide. The link is in your email, so I'm going to let you decide on that. But I do want to talk about celebrating Prince Rogers Nelson. And before we do that, because I got to make sure that a dear friend, associate shared this with me. She was like, Gwendolyn, you should have a Jamaican Purple Rain. And I said, you know what? I think you're right. So I am sipping on my Jamaican Purple Rain. We do have the recipe here. We will also create a quick video or link one for you so that you can make your own. And we also have it as a mocktail because not everybody wants to drink or can. So it's just pineapple juice and cranberry juice, some crushed ice. You get little cherries, little pineapples, and you'll be just fine. Now I have mine. I didn't put in my pineapple or my cherries. You know, it's kind of hard to eat on camera. I don't know if y'all know that, right? Like you don't really want to eat on camera because all the things go wrong when you do it. I have found. You don't want to eat on camera. You don't want to open up bottles of wine. I try to do as much as I can do beforehand because I don't want to embarrass myself. I already do that, so I figure let me not do it that much. So let me get to my topic at hand. Mr. Brian, there is a separate email from g@grhjack.com. Could be in your spam folder, sir. I want you to check that link, not the one from Luma, because we would love to have you come and share with us. Like, we love your genius. You can go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. So a couple of things. I want to do a couple of fun facts first, because my cousin, when I went to Paisley Park in Minneapolis back in June of 2016. Golly, wow. I had to do my pilgrimage. Now, I told my boss that, when Prince passes away, I'm going to Paisley Park, hands down, like doing it. And she's like, of course you are. Now, I didn't go in April. I actually went in October. I went in October with the now husband. That was our first joint trip. But the very first trip was in June on his birthday, which they made into Prince Day. And I did not know that my cousin had a very deep connection with the Minneapolis music scene. Had no idea. He was telling me all these stories about how he would let Prince and the kids in so they could practice on their music and stuff. And I was like, wait, what? And so this book came out a few years back, Prince, The Beautiful Ones, right? You guys remember that? If you are a fan, you probably have it. And I thought, okay, because I have a lot of Prince books. I'm going to talk about what kind of fan I am. But a cousin said, hey, I need you to look at the book and go to the pictures and look at these two pictures. And I was like, okay, I see it. And he's like, that's your cousin. I said, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Yes, Marcy Dixon. I'm going to show a picture really quick. Marcy Dixon. Yeah, they were like the best of friends. I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? The world is so small. And I said to myself, if only I could have had a chance. Now, his dad gave me a lot of stories. A lot of stories. I still have it on my list to travel back to Minneapolis, get him on film to capture the stories. But it's amazing just how small the world is. As a matter of fact, where they lived, they were across the street from where Andre Simone stayed. And I was like, wait, that's the house? He was like, yeah. The community is really not that big. It's really not that big. So when I tell you I'm one of those fans, now I got all these details after the fact, but I am one of those fans. Shout out to Dr. Tachi, who is here. Hello. And yes, man, when you get into the stories, this is the importance of photography and videography. We need to get our family, friends, loved ones on film with some of these stories, the recipes, the special moments, because once they are gone, unless you've captured that story somewhere, it's gone. But it absolutely floored me when he was like, oh yeah, that's your cousin. I was like, wait, what? So let me get into some details about Mr. Nelson really quick, because yes, like I said, I went back in October with the hubs, got into Paisley Park, and was in awe. Did I cry? I did cry at one point. I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried when we came into the foyer, and there was this. It could still be there. There was this. I thought it was a statue of Paisley Park, right? And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like it's like this little miniature Paisley Park, and it's in this encased, deal. And I thought, wow, that's really awesome. And it was not a statue, it was an urn, and his ashes are in that urn. And so it hits me like a lot of other people. And there was this open area where they had Kleenex and everything and places to sit, because once you realize that you're looking at his urn, it hits you. And so I immediately grabbed a tissue and I had to take a seat. Like that's like when you walk in, they're like, yes, you know, you have to lock up your phone. And I don't know if they still do that. I think they're allowing not what Prince did, but you had to lock up your phone and they bring you in and they give you this quick introduction. They're like, if you want to pay your respects or have a moment of silence. And I was like, wait, what? It was a little jarring. It definitely shocked me, but I had to sit for a moment because you're like, oh, those are his ashes. Okay, that's a lot. But it was the best trip ever. Hey, shout out to Ms. Elise, who is here. And our friend Gary is in the building as well. So yeah, you know, he was born June 7th. It's a Gemini. My husband's a Gemini. He got lucky. You know what I'm saying? And of course, he passed away on April 21st of 2016. People talk about Prince lately. Young people talk about Prince lately. And some of them, I believe it's clickbait. I believe they purposely want to say that Prince is highly overrated because they know that he has a following that is like none other. And I don't want to call it a following. That man has touched a number of lives that I'm sure he knew it. I'm certain he knew it. I am positive he knew it. But he is a genius. It's not just a musical genius. He is just a genius across the board. And the fact that he left a serious mark on this earth, man, I just, you know, I was playing Purple Rain, a live edition of Purple Rain. And I actually was in tears, like to hear him play and to remember seeing him play. Because I was part of MPG Club, okay? I was part of MPG Music Club. We had to get in there, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to get those front row seats. I want those really good tracks, all the special edition things, the audio music. We had to get in there because that's where he went to, right? Man, I cried because I thought, are we ever going to see someone like that again? And I don't want anyone to be like him. That's not where I'm going. It's the genius and the appreciation for music. I appreciated his lyrics as a writer. Loved his lyrics as a writer. I mean, man, some of the stuff, like these kids nowadays and their love songs. I know y'all know about like Quiet Storm, where there was really, really good love music and you had to use your imagination and everything. I don't know where those times went, but we shall see. So, what's this? MZ? I guess, is that Jebula? Hope I said your name right. Prince gave the world his eternal love that will forever be everlasting. You are correct. We're going to talk about that. Ms. Elise says, yes, we Geminis are, what? You're a Gemini? I had no idea. You know, every day I'm learning something new about Miss Elise. Every single day. It definitely is the modern day Mozart. It is amazing. And I see my friends in the background. We're going to bring him up. We're going to bring him up. All right, I assume Spencer's ready. I'm assuming. He says, it looks like he says he's ready. I'm going to bring him up. Mr. Brian, how are you?
I am good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All right. Yeah, I am good. Glad to be here.
I appreciate you showing up, and it's we have done something like this in the past, and we are really deep Prince fans. So before I go into Prince and what he's known as, because, you know, people talk about, did you know that he really is like, do y'all know he had multiple pseudonyms? Multiple pseudonyms? Like the man didn't write this under his name. He wrote under a number of names. A number. Before I do that, hold up. Let me go ahead. Mr. Bryant, do you want to tell the people how we know each other and how you tried to check me on some Prince music and I had to like school you real quick? You want to do that?
Well, this was about 150 years ago. So the story is a little gray on being checked. However, I met G on Google Plus it was. And I think I saw a post where she mentioned something about Prince. And immediately I was drawn. So I went and I said, are you really a Prince fan? because that's the question you have to ask people. Are you really a Prince fan? Or are you just saying, I like Prince because of 1999? So we kind of went back and forth, and the way we tested this was, well, have you heard this? And have you heard that? And do you have this? And do you have that? And after a while, I realized she checked all the boxes. So yeah, a real fan past the 1999 stuff.
Yes, a real fan. We were going back and forth on Google Plus, and I was bringing up, as we say in the community, some jams and jellies, and he was like, oh, okay, maybe she really does. I was like, bruh, got some stuff over here. We got some stuff over here.
Yeah.
People talk about it, and some people do stop at 1999. They stop at like the 80s era, and I think wherever you are with Prince, I don't mind. However, I believe his evolution speaks to the fact that we are always evolving as people, as artists, as creatives, and when we get stuck or we allow ourselves to not move past a place, we don't get to see our full purpose. That man has created all kinds of music.
Yeah.
All kinds of music. Neo soul, jazz, pseudo jazz, R&B, rock,
orchestra?
Pop.
Do you remember the orchestra, the Kama Sutra?
Yes, I do have that.
Yeah.
So the man's touched it all. And I agree with Mr. Lee's Somewhere Here on Earth. Beautiful song. Beautiful. So can we talk about, really quick, these pseudonyms? Because people are like, did you know that Prince wrote? So I just want to say this because I'm going to get funny with it. Covering a Prince song is not the same as Prince wrote the song for me. Okay? I just want to make sure that's clear. Now, Shaka Khan did a great job with I Feel For You, but that was a cover. Okay? That was a cover. That was not a song written for her. It was a cover. What else? We've got, well, TLC did I wasn't really crazy about how they did that time cover. Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You. That was a cover. Martika. Now, tell me this, Spencer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Martika, Love Thy Will Be Done. That was that written for her? Because he has that, but I think he has it as a demo.
Yeah, he wrote it as a demo, and she sang it. Pretty much the same stuff that was going on with Sheila E.
Yes.
With his song, and then he let them perform it. TLC also tried If I Was Your Girlfriend too. I said try.
I want to say Shh, which was written for Tevin Campbell, that he came back and did himself. So that one was written for Tevin Campbell, way beyond his years, though.
Yeah.
Way beyond his years.
If you hear the Prince version, you will forget that Tevin Campbell ever wrote it.
Right? I mean, man, he puts his little something on it. So here are some of the other names that Prince used. Jamie Starr, Alexander Nevermind, Christopher Tracy, which I'm sure you guys have heard that one. Madhouse, which was also a group, but he used it as a song, as a name to write under. Joey Coco. There is Camille, Paisley Park, and then his nickname was Skipper.
Mm-hmm.
Right? People are like, what? Yes, Skipper. I mean, he's a tiny dude. I don't know how he pulled all the women he pulled, but he was a tiny dude. I mean, he's wasn't like 5'2"? Was he 5'2", 5'4"?
5'2", I think.
He was tiny. And like, because he and Maite, well, I shouldn't say they shared clothes. He would take Maite's clothes, alter them, and wear them. She mentioned that a couple of times when I have seen her speak and I've taken some of her classes. She would say that he would go into her closet, take her suit or something and alter it, and then he would wear it for himself. And I was like, but you're also petite and tiny. So it just makes you really think about how small he is. I mean, seeing him in concert, he's on a stage. And so you don't really recognize just how tiny he is. But yeah, he was a small guy, but he could pull him. So here's a question for the crowd. We would love to know, Do you remember your first Prince album? Do you know your first Prince album, Spencer? What did you buy?
The first one I bought, with my money would have been Around the World in a Day. That was the first one I bought. Yeah. But now I had already had, Mom was buying albums. So we had the Purple Rains in 1999 and stuff. My money, that was the first one I went out and stood in line to get.
Now, was that on an LP or a cassette?
Cassette. Yeah.
We do recall those days. I didn't get my first Prince album, and it was a CD. A CD set was that hits and B-sides.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know my mama's in here, but it's okay. Mother didn't it didn't feel as if Prince was the way for us to go. He was a tad controversial, right?
Yeah.
He was really skirting the lines in terms of dress and being androgynous. He was pushing all the barriers, all the borders.
Yeah.
So, for some people, don't think that he was safe in the household. Because what was it? Which song was it that got the attention of what's her face? Was it Darling Nikki? Was that the one?
Darling Nikki, yeah.
Yes. When they were like, we need to.
And surprisingly, he was on that list twice, but a lot of people didn't know it.
Really?
He was on that list for Darling Nikki, and then he was also on that list for a song by Sheila Easton, My Sugar Walls.
Yes. Which is a great song, by the way.
Yeah.
We do like Sugar Walls. That goes back to my point when we talk about creativity. Because I was a kid listening to Sugar Walls, and I thought it was amazing. I mean, it stayed on repeat on the R&B, radio stations. But we didn't know what even if you think about Little Red Corvette, I'm trying to think how old I was when I finally realized what he was talking about. I didn't get it. Like, it just went over my head. But when you're really good at writing and painting a picture, then you are able to create work like that goes over people's head. Nothing against the people out here today who want to just put it all out in the open. I just don't find it as clever as a lot of songs were in the past. What say you, sir?
I tell you one you have to go back and listen to, and it always reminds me, because I convinced my mom that this was a good song until I started really, really listening to it. Tambourine.
Okay.
Yeah, go back and listen to Tambourine and just take your time and think about what he's really talking about.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, Tambourine was very Darling Nikki-ish.
Really?
Surprising. Okay. Yeah.
Because there's a few songs that the first time I heard them, I thought, meh. And now that I don't want to say older, but I'm more aware, as in I'm listening to his lyrics and really get into it, there are certain songs, like the whole entire Love Sexy album, I will play it from beginning to end, and I love I Know. It's just like, it is like right there. It is right there. So can we talk about, since we're talking about albums, people, do you recognize these albums? Now, I know Spencer has them, so I'm not even going to bring him into this, but you can talk about it. Because we're talking about Jill Jones, which has some great hits, but it could be a Minneapolis thing. We've got Madhouse 8 and Madhouse 16. We know about Sheila E. Then there's News, that Northeast, West, and South.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that 2010 up there. You remember that one?
I do. 2010 was from overseas release, but it made its way.
Yes. Now, 94 East is one that was early on in his, career, early. And the one that I picked up, I believe, was a re-release, because it didn't say 94 East featuring Prince until they re-released it. It was just 94 East back in the day, because, he was just, a person. now that he's got like the clout and stuff, they re-released it and it came out with 94 East featuring Prince. When people talk about Prince, they stop with what is commercially successful, which in my opinion, people miss out on what's really happening if you just stick to what's commercially successful. Because there's a lot. I mean, his collection is beyond words. And the fact that if you play certain albums, you can actually hear him in the chorus. It's like that. Okay, that's Prince right there. No, like hands down. And as Mr. Lee says, he was definitely pushing the line with the bikini briefs. Wasn't that a poster in the LP?
Yeah, he did that on. That was inside of 1999. He did another one for Controversy.
For Controversy, yeah.
Yeah. Very confident. Very confident.
You know, extremely confident for a petite guy. He knew he had something. But when we talk about his music and his collection, his body of work, you have to truly go into every single thing he has touched. And a lot of folks stop at a certain place and then you have all of this that people are like, oh, I've never heard of that. And that Madhouse, was it number 8? Was it Madhouse 8? That was the most popular off of that one? I can't remember. Give me the number.
It was all of the marching bands were playing that one. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And it was just a I guess it's not really jazz, I guess it was like pseudo jazz is how they defined it, because it didn't have, there are no lyrics. If you heard it, you'd be like, wait, I know that song. Yes, you do know that song. Yeah, it was that popular. They played all the time on the radio station. It was just the music, no lyrics, but it was great. And yes, the bands do love it. So if you haven't seen these, look into them. Go ahead.
There's actually a Madhouse 24.
Did I have that one?
Yeah, if you don't, let me know. But there was a Madhouse 24, and here's this other thing that annoys me, only because I'm a Prince fan. When what was her name? I can't think of the Adele. When Adele started dropping her albums, and she was naming them after the number of tracks, and everybody just thought this was so unique. And I'm like, no, that had been done before. Prince did that already, you know. So yeah, all of the Madhouse albums were named after the number of tracks on the album. So it was Madhouse 8, Madhouse 16, and the one that was hard to find is Madhouse 24.
Yeah, because I don't think I have Madhouse 24. I literally went through, okay, so I was going through my my collection, trying to decide how much do I want to put myself in trouble. Like I said, I don't believe Alexa de Paris will get a copyright strike. I'm not sure, but I'm willing to take it today. I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna do it. Because I thought, can I play like a snippet? But you gotta think, when you play some of these snippets, you need more than just the first 30 or so seconds, because a lot of times it was like his guitar solo. Like he's warming you up to what you're about to get into. So you can't even get into the music. You're like, okay, so now I got to turn this off. So I thought, let me not do that. But I may need that 24, Spencer. I may need to get with you to get that 24, because I don't think I had it.
Gotcha.
I don't think I have it. Miss Elise says, I don't know these. I have to do some more crate digging. Miss Elise, let me tell you. Now, here's how this works in the Prince community. So back in 2009, 2008, was it 7? I think it was 7 or 8. I met this DJ out of Boston who had plenty of LPs and wanted to go digital. And he said, hey, if you guys want to get this collection, holla at me. I will burn it for you and sell it to you. Now, Spencer and I know this. Some of these songs that we love a lot were only on B-sides.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if you didn't get the LP, you didn't get the 45, you were never going to own that music. Like you had to get the B-sides. And the B-sides, I believe, has some of the very best songs. I miss the B-sides.
Yeah, Roddy City was the B-side. oh man, there was so many B-sides that became popular.
Mm-hmm.
People couldn't find them because they weren't buying the records or the albums.
Mm-mm.
Another Lonely Christmas.
Another Lonely Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, which I play every
17
holiday.
Days, 17 Days was a B-side. Yeah.
Yeah, the B-sides were great. And if you didn't get that LP, you didn't get that 45, you were not getting that music. It was like, what? Wait, what? And so, you know, when you go out looking for something, like, well, where is it? Like, why can't I find this? This is why you can't find it. So I'm just saying, there's a lot. So I'm going to tell on myself, and I understand that there's a good chance a lot of y'all in this group did the same thing. So I remember when I started to really get into growing my collection, because I had the hits and B-sides, but then I wanted every other album that they came from, because I wanted to get the very first thing he did and play everything. And so I remember creating some Columbia House and BMG Music Club accounts so that I could get these CDs. I am certain I owe them. I don't know how much I owe them at this point.
I don't think they're still around.
It's been a few years.
Bad business model.
It worked at the beginning. Like you pay your penny to get, like, what was it, 7 or 8 CDs, something like that. And then you just buy, like, once a month the CDs you want. I kept a list of all the albums I wanted to find. And then I went after all of his other projects because I wanted to hear that music too, which is why, as Dr. Tachi says, I went and found that Jill Jones. Like, I was like, I got to find this Jill Jones. I need to dig deeper into what she's doing. So it's, once you get started, you kind of get hooked. So I'm asking myself, what didn't he write? So these are maybe a couple that you guys do know. He wrote Yo Mister for Patti LaBelle, which I love. Love Yo Mister. How's your daughter? Love Thy Will Be Done, which was one of his projects. He gave it to Martika. Manic Monday, that was given to the Bangles. Given to the Bangles. All right. Nothing compares to you. We do know about The Family. Do y'all know about The Family? I mean, we know about The Family. And I have that version too, as a matter of fact. I like that version. I like Sinead O'Connor's version, but I like Prince's version first, The Family, and then Sinead O'Connor. I Feel For You was covered by Chaka Khan, and she made that song her own.
She did. Okay?
She made it her own. Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton. We're going to go ahead and tell on ourselves. And then The Glamorous Life. Now, that's just a couple, because we could go on. That's just a couple. That doesn't even, like, really scratch the surface on what he wrote. But the man's got music and mad skills that people just sort of, you know, look over. And covers, again, are not the same as writing music for. Right? So writing that Love That Will Be Done, which I love, by Martika. Love it. And of course, who doesn't like Manic Monday? Unless you're not an 80s, well, you gotta be an 80s kid. Yeah. Love Manic Monday though. Love, love, love it. Let me continue because I want to get to all the things. Okay, so I want to bring this up big. So this is what I got when we talk about who he's written for or recorded by. A lot of names. Like I said, 94 East. We know about The Time, Vandy 6, Stevie Nicks. We know about Apollonia 6, Sheila E., Sheena Easton, Eric Leeds, Andre Simone, Brown Mark, The Family, Maserati. You remember them, Spencer? Maserati?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't bring any of their stuff into here, but Maserati. I know we're telling our age, and it's okay. We still look good, though. I'm not even worried about it. We look good. We got the Bangles, Jill Jones, El DeBarge, Candy Dulfer. That's your saxophonist, which at some point she was part of his band, which was amazing. The Steels, Carmen Electra, who, no offense, couldn't sing to save her life. Tevin Campbell, Earth, Wind and Fire, George Clinton, Chaka Khan. He did write songs for her, other songs, Madonna, New Power Generation. The list goes on and on. When people try to put him into a box, I actually get upset. Because you can't box this man. You cannot box him. Like, it's just, He didn't like when people call someone pop, they put him into a genre and they stay there. This guy went beyond all of those genres because all of this music covers everything you could have. I mean, Eric Lees and Kenny Dulfer, those are jazz musicians who played with him as well, and then have their own album where he also wrote for them. If you think you've heard everything he's created, I am telling you, you're scratching the surface. There's some work out there. And for those of us who like to get into all of his work, we like to get into all of his work. We like to get into it. So I want to take a quick pause. Just a quick pause here. And I'm going to bring up just a snippet of his skills. If you've ever seen the rock and roll induction, where he plays "While My Guitar Gently Weeps," I'm assuming if you guys are in here, I'm assuming you all have heard it. I want to do a quick little snippet of it because it just really speaks to just how great he is. And I'm going to make sure here. Let me just put this on pause because I don't want that to come in there. Let me share my screen. Let me share it. Let me share my screen. I could have been a singer. Did you know that? This is like, no, Gwendolyn, you could not have been a singer. You could not have been. All right, so let me bring this up really quick. Oh my goodness. Okay. The showmanship, the skill. God bless it. You know, for people who have never seen him in concert and will never get the chance now, that's the beauty of videos, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, it just makes me smile because he's so freaking good at what he does. The man was amazing. And can we say confident? Like,
very. So you know what? And I'm trying to hold off on this. So, you know, after his death, you know, my challenge was to go back and find all of the vinyl after the death. So I remember thinking this was not going to be that difficult because, you know, blah, 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 blah. However, as I started going down this rabbit hole, as you now know, that's been, how long has it been gone? I'm sorry. It's
2016. So we are, what, 9? We're almost 10 years in.
Oh, wow.
I know,
So
right?
it started back then. And I just looked on my thing. I am now 94 albums in.
What?
94 albums, yeah.
On vinyl?
Different songs, different versions. And then there is the record store day releases. So I went back right before I got on here and I started looking and I found so this one, I don't know if it's showing on screen. But this one is the truth. It's probably not showing right. Is it?
It's kind of showing because it's got the cover on there.
Yeah. And I kept it in the vinyl too. But anyway, so the truth was the first record store day album I bought. Remember I was telling you about when I sat out there about 6 hours?
Yes.
So the truth was the first one that I got, which was a part of the One Night Alone. But it came from the club members. Remember, the club members only got the Truth album.
Mm-hmm.
They released that one. Then there was the Gold album, which was in 2022, that came out on Record Store Day. And I just recently was telling you about the other one that came out that I missed. The Prince Live, New Power Generation Live.
Yeah, I didn't get that one either.
Yeah, it came out Sunday, last Saturday. That was the one Record Store Day released last Saturday. However, I hunted that joker down and I found it.
Oh, you did get it. Yeah, we were driving back from Tennessee. I was like, we're going to miss Record Store Day.
Yeah, and I missed it myself. I got up late, but I hunted this joker down and I wasn't expecting it until next week, but it got here today. So this now makes it the official, I think, 3rd album that is live, recorded live. Because for a long time, he only had One Night Alone that was live
Yes.
recorded. And so now this is the third live recorded album. I have yet to open it, and I don't know that I will, only because I already have it on somewhere else. But yeah, and then I got that other one. These aren't showing up, but this is a prized possession. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because of your when you just disappeared because of the plastic.
Yeah, this is my prized possession right here. This one is the Diamonds and Pearls, all of the singles, the 45s.
Oh.
This is a collection of all of the singles that were released in 45s, and this one is numbered. So they did this thing where they released only 1,991 of them, which this came out in 91. And so they released only 9,000. I have copy number 689. So yeah, this is my prized possession right here.
Oh my
this one right here, they say you can't take it with you. I might take this one with me.
I thought we discussed that if you were to go first, I would inherit your collection. I could have sworn that was a discussion.
We did have that discussion, but I think I'm gonna take this one with me though.
What?
I think I would take this one with me. Yeah, this one was just like, I could not believe I found this thing. When I first purchased it, it was $100. This thing is now going for about $800 or $900.
Jesus Louise.
So yeah.
I don't think if you happen to go before me, that we're gonna put that in your casket or put it somewhere. Like I don't see it.
You know what? Somebody gonna know to put that in there.
Ms. Elise, you know what? If you want us to send you some of our collection, because we got some stuff, we will send you a link to download whatever your heart desires. And some of the stuff that I have, it doesn't even have it's kind of like on the raw side, so it hasn't really been mastered. It was like somebody was in the studio and just recorded it. So when you get some of that stuff, the quality is what the quality is, but you can still hear the song and play the things. Like I was playing today the original version of Sexual Suicide, right? And it is yummy, man. The guitar, the drums, all of it. I just keep saying, what? So let me do this. Little thing there. I do want to give him credit for telling people to own their own music, own your art, and to not be a slave. Because again, Prince was doing stuff and has always done stuff before people do it. People come out here being half naked and whatever. For those of us, we've seen that before, been there, done that. Like if you came up in the 70s when you had men wearing eyeliner and all kinds of whatnot, like nobody said anything about it, and it means absolutely nothing. We have been there and done that. But he was big on owning your masters. He was big on that. And the fact that we have technology now that allows us as creatives, as artists, to do that, I got to give him his props for making a stand on that and telling people, look, do it for yourself. Take your music to your people. Because we were part of the NPG Music Club. And he was bringing out stuff. Now, there was that one kerfuffle with the Crystal Ball, where folks had pre-ordered it and then it was in the store before people on the club got it. Things happen. But support your artists. Go to them directly and get that music. Minneapolis, really quick. Minneapolis. So I'm gonna put my little story together really quick. And I want to talk about, my visit. So when I went to do my little pilgrimage, I did stop by First Avenue, and on the wall, they have all the stars of every person who has ever performed there. And there was a guerrilla artist who took the star prints and made it gold because all the other stars are silver. There's actually a piano that is outside. So if you are an artist, you want to come up and just play something, you can play something outside of First Avenue. But there are all these places that we have come to love that talk about who he is as a person. When I went in 2016, people had been leaving their memorials there since April. there were people who had come from all over the world to say something about this man, all over the world. And this is a quick video, of his impact. All right, let me say this. Now, I may have such a life of proof, but I don't know if anybody is coming from Scotland or London or any other place to put up some flowers, to put up a letter. There were people from all over this world saying how his music touched them. And when this is just one of many memorials, but that one club, all those people, different ages, ethnicities, backgrounds, like all the things, music can bring us together if you really think about it, because it doesn't have any color to it. And his art brought so many people together. His art helped so many people at a time of need. I am one of them. And all I could think to myself was, man, just, being able to see the impact. That was in 2016. We are still years later, and we can see his impacts on people like Janelle Monáe, which is so clear that he was some sort of mentor to her. I think they worked together on like a song or two.
One song on her album. Yeah.
Yes, on her album. So it's like, to be able to see it. Now, he had many concerts. They were always sold out. There's a lot of stuff. So I'm sure he knew his impact. But who would have ever thought this? People from overseas are like, I'm flying here to leave my mark at Paisley Park, which when they tore all of this down, they took down the fence. They didn't throw anything away, by the way. Okay. What they ended up doing was they ended up leaving the fence in this guy's garage, like his storage unit, because he was like, I will happily store all of this. And so if you ever visit Paisley Park, they switch out the pieces of fence that are on display, right? So if you were able to leave something there, I left my little purple heart there. If you were able to leave something there, it is now part of that museum. So that's like one of the best things ever that could have been done. But I say to myself, my goodness, it's just, we get a little verklempt, as they say, a little verklempt. But, his mark is still here. There are young people who are learning his music still. And for those who say, oh, Prince is overrated, if you want to do clickbait, okay, I guess. You might get cussed out, though. Somebody gonna cuss you out from talking bad about him. That's a possibility.
And there's no way to have that conversation about who was better, Michael Jackson or Prince. Those are two totally different people, totally different categories. You cannot compare the two. So anybody who brings that argument up is really just baiting you for an argument. An argument that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't even begin to make sense. They are not even in the same category. And I love Michael. I really do. I got Mikey in the call. I got Prince in the call, but they are in two different buckets doing two different things. Just saying. We're going to call it what it is. We are going to call it this. Now, I do want to say this, as Mrs. Elise is laughing. It's one of those age-old arguments, kind of like, Apple and Samsung and, you know, Dallas Cowboys versus whomever, which I don't know why they even still having that argument because, well, let me not do it. Let me not do it. We're not going to do sports today. But I do want to say this, and I think I can bring it up. Hold up. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me put some prints in it. We have, God bless all of me. There is a special room that I created. It is called the Purple Rockers. It's a room for people who are Prince fans. It is a virtual room. There is a link to the room in my YouTube bio. You can also get it from like Linktree, whatever. But it is a space where you can listen to some of my collection. I need to upload some more music. The music I've uploaded is primarily the things that are not commercially available. So they're like his live music. There's some of his jam sessions. We may add the audio shows from the MPG Music Club, but it is always open. So if you ever want to go in there, hear something and see what's going on. Did I change it? Oh, hold up. I think I changed it. Let me go back. Let me make sure it's actually still being shared. There we go. So if you ever want to go in there, you are free to go in there. Never have to worry about, hey, do I need like permission? It is always up, and I'm always putting more music in there for people to listen to because I'm that fan. I believe in sharing the genius. I've got music from Spencer, and I think I've given some music to Spencer as well. Spencer has bought me books. We are those fans. We are not gatekeepers of this genius. That's not how we rock here. So by all means, you can jump in there. I'll add another link. But if you want to jump in there and see what's going on, by all means do that. And I know Monday, Paisley Park is doing a memorial. If you cannot be there, they are going to stream it live. I may be in that room watching it live. So if you want to come through, I'll put up a little invite. You can definitely do that too. Are you going to watch it, Spencer?
Yep.
Yeah.
I already.
This is just,
blocked out the time. Yeah.
I know, right? And last year, I did do a quick little hangout in that room, and we just had a variety of fans sharing their stories, sharing the music. And I will say this too, you can play the music and no one else hears what you're listening to but you, right? So don't think, okay, I can't play it loud. No, it only plays on your side. I can't hear what you're listening to and you can't hear what I'm listening to. So that's the cool thing about that. But this has been a great start. I got my Jamaican Purple Rain over here, Spencer. Woo! It's going hard, sir. It is going hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I figured I should have some sort of cocktail for today. Should I not?
Might as well. Yeah, I'm doing cocktails after this, so I don't want to be on here too loose. You know, things can go off the rails when I get too soft up. So
yeah. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let me do this. I want to thank everybody for rolling through. Truly. If you want to get some of these jams and jellies and B-sides, you can send me a note on Instagram. That's fine. You can definitely do that. Or I want to say my email address is actually in my YouTube link, like in the little like contact me thing. You can send me a note there too. We have no problem sharing our music. I believe everybody should be blessed. Don't you think, Spencer?
I agree. Yeah. You'd be surprised what you haven't heard. Yes. I think that's the biggest part. People will be surprised what they haven't heard. When you thought you heard the best Prince song you ever heard, the best Prince song ever made was never played on the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Completely have not played it on the radio because I was playing Super Cute this morning. Thought about you, man. I thought about you when I think about like the Chocolate Invasion, and I played Golden Parachute.
Great.
Which says a lot about the CEOs that we're seeing today. But let us not get into that political conversation because we are celebrating today. Again, thank you all for coming and just sharing your time with me and getting a little bit of our our little 6 degrees of separation with a lot of stuff. But I hope to see you all. Now, what's happening next week? Hold on. What's happening next week? What is next week? Oh, I'm talking about imposter syndrome next week. Yeah, I'm talking about imposter syndrome next week. And it may not be for tender ears. So, mother, you may not want to tune in on this show next week. I just want to say. I just want to go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to put it out there. Yes, he did a lot of political songs. Oh, my goodness. Like, again, stuff like this, we need. What did we do last time, Spencer? A whole hour? We had a whole hour last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an hour already here. We haven't even. It's hard to get all of what he does. And like, I like how my mama says, okay.
You have to think, I know the time's short, but you have to think after all those years, the song Sign of the Times still is relevant today. It is still relevant today if you listen to Sign of the Times.
Mm-hmm. I will say this, and I'll go and do like a little prequel here, a little preview. So I do a Monday message every Monday, and it just so happens the 21st is Monday. And I used the lyrics from last December, which pretty much says, if this was your last December, would people remember to remember you? Right? And it talks about like how you show up in life. So if you've never heard it from the Rainbow Children album, I highly suggest you go out and find it, or you can ask me for it, I'll send it to you. But the songs he wrote, the lyrics, I mean, there's something for everything. We could definitely do like a little side video, Spencer, and do some more talking offline here. Yeah. But that was a song that I picked for this Monday to say, hey, we need to come together. And it says, come together as one. This is where we are right now as a nation. Music could truly give us world peace. But, we got to fight ego and everything else. But I digress. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because it has been an hour. So I do want to let you guys go. Spencer, thank you for coming as always and sharing your genius with us. As I said before, stay tuned. I'm gonna put it on Instagram and I'll probably put it here in the YouTube community area. So if you want to come hang out at the Purple Rocker spots, come hang out, listen to the music. We're gonna upload some new stuff. Come in there, leave your thoughts in the comments area, but it's always open. That's the great thing about it. We're always open, and I can come and hang out with you too. Until then, I think we're gonna wrap this up. I'm finished my drink. What say you, Spencer?
I'm good.
And I'm gonna go put on some more music. See you all next week.
Have a good one.
Hey, it's G. Thank you for watching this episode of Girl Listen. Be sure to catch me every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. And while you're here, I cordially invite you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you all next week.